Welcome to another exciting episode of For Real. As always, I'm Mario, and with me today is
Faith.
That's right, and today we'll be discussing the history of spaghetti westerns. And you can't talk about a movie without a proper movie snack. So Faith, what is today's movie snack?
We have spaghetti, and it's not really a snack, it's more of a meal.
Fitting, spaghetti westerns,
Yeah.
spaghetti.
Obviously, the most obvious choice.
You ready, partner?
Yep.
Alright, let's get up to it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the term spaghetti western originated from the fact that all these western movies were directed by Italian filmmakers.
Wow.
Hence, spaghetti.
That's racist.
It's super racist.
Yeah.
But, you know.
It fits, kind of.
I guess.
Okay.
So, western movies gained popularity in the United States in the 60s and the 70s. However, western movies have been around in the US since the early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened in the 60s and 70s that made it more popular was that the genre film was brought into television. So studios began to create shows about cowboys and Indians,
Yeah.
and many families would sit together during dinner time and watch it.
Okay, so a lot more people were able to see.
Yeah, a lot more people were able to see
Okay.
the genre of Western movies.
Yeah.
And not only that, but what also made Western movies popular
Mhm.
or easier to make was the fact that you could reuse a lot of the sets and people really wouldn't notice those kind of things.
Yeah.
So a lot of big Hollywood studios would create Western movies at an affordable budget, and they would be able to create successful projects in the end. Projects that would be very, profitable for studios. And that's how they became very popular.
Yeah. And they don't have to spend a lot to make a lot.
Exactly.
So that was really good for them.
Exactly. Now, one key figure that we can talk about in discussing spaghetti westerns is the talent director Sergio Leone. Now, before he moved into directing western movies, he directed in what Hollywood studios called sword and sandal movies.
Okay.
And that was the big biblical gladiator kind of movies that were popular before western movies took over.
Do you have an example?
Ben-Hur is... You never seen Ben-Hur?
No. Do you have a clip?
We could put an image or a clip right here.
Ding.
Alright,
Okay.
so, alongside the actor Steve Reeves, Leone was able to direct the movie A Fistful of Dollars. And that essentially was the big, first, huge, commercially successful Western movie.
Like the Jaws of the spaghetti western.
Exactly. Which you can learn about in our previous episode.
Yep. Link below.
Yeah,
Right?
maybe somewhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was great about A Fistful of Dollars was that a lot of the factors that went into the movie helped it be successful.
Mm-hmm.
The directing, the cinematography, the script writing, but it also brought something else into the United States. It brought Clint Eastwood into the public arena.
Oh, his son is famous now.
Yes, his son is famous. But
Okay.
Clint Eastwood basically helped to further legitimize spaghetti westerns in the US.
Wait, so is he Italian as well?
No.
Oh, what is he?
The thing about that is that Italian directors loved working with American actors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, in regards of Clint Eastwood, this brings us to our next segment, For Real or Not. Alright, so the way this is going to work, I'm going to name a few titles of famous spaghetti western movies and some that are not real.
Okay.
So your job is to guess if they're for real or not.
Okay.
Alright?
Sure.
And viewers at home, you can play alongside too. Alright, let's get to it.
Okay.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Fake.
Wrong. It's a real movie.
Oh. Ooh. Interesting.
Tears in the Rockies.
Real.
Wrong.
What?
It's not a real movie.
What the heck?
A Few Dollars More.
Real.
That is correct. It's a sequel to A Fistful of Dollars.
Okay. That's what I thought.
The Magnificent Stranger.
Real.
That is also true. The Long Journey South.
Fake.
That is also true.
It's too obvious.
The Treasure of the Mexican.
I wanna say fake because it sounds racist, but I feel like it might be real, so real.
It's not a title.
Okay, cool.
And lastly, Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
Real.
Correct.
Okay, because I feel like you wouldn't be able to come up with that. It's too
Anyways, what connects all these movies, or at least the real ones,
random.
is that they all starred Clint Eastwood.
Okay. Like he was the main character?
Main or secondary,
Okay.
but they all basically helped him be more of a successful actor in the
Oh,
U.S.
okay. I see.
Alright,
Okay.
well, thanks for playing.
Well,
With what you know, and what you know from today, why do you think cowboy movies aren't a big hit at the current moment?
probably because cowboys aren't that relevant to anyone really. Like, you don't see cowboys in real life or in the news. And no one writes songs about them. Maybe country music? I don't know.
That's also true. I also think that because we're in an era of technology, science fiction movies have taken more of
That's true.
a liking because of
Yeah.
how, I guess, close we are to achieving that reality, or just the wonders we are. Whereas back in the 60s and 70s, it was more the idea of being this adventurous, like exploring the land, like
Yeah.
a macho kind of style.
Yeah.
But, I mean, in recent years, Hollywood has tried to bring back not the whole idea of spaghetti westerns, but just bring back
Cowboys.
the concept of cowboys. There was Cowboys versus Aliens, which you would think would work, two great concepts, cowboys and aliens,
Yeah.
but turned out to be a flop. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino has had two decent hits in terms of cowboy movies, Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight. They're based on that sense of drama and action that made Western movies, great. You can also throw the movie True Grit in there, which, again, spaghetti westerns were known for like the dialogue and the heart of the hero.
Well, I have a question.
What's up?
Does Indiana Jones count as a cowboy? That's a legit question. Cause he has a hat.
Anyways.
And doesn't he have a horse?
Anyways.
As well? And a rope.
Anyways.
And a hat.
Anyway. Key points. What did you learn today?
I learned that spaghetti westerns started out with that one guy whose name is really fancy that I don't remember.
Sergio Leone?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? Clint Eastwood really made them successful, and he got really famous from those. And
Yeah.
Yep. And I learned that they're not as popular today because there's a big emphasis on technology and sci-fi type stuff.
That's also correct.
Yeah. What'd you learn?
Well, I was the one that taught you.
I know. Our conversation wasn't flowing, so it's fast.
Oh, well,
Okay.
I learned
Okay.
that...
Clint Eastwood has a son.
Yeah, I learned that Clint Eastwood has a son.
Okay.
Look at that. So we both learned something
Yeah.
today.
Good job, Mario.
Alright, I hope you guys learned something as well. Join us next time when we discuss noir films. Ooh. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. See you next time.